Top Accurate Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. The Taliban are creating a large-scale camera surveillance network for Afghan cities that could involve repurposing a plan crafted by the Americans before their 2021 pullout, an Interior Ministry spokesman told pressmen, as authorities seek to supplement thousands of cameras already across the capital, Kabul. The Taliban administration, which has publicly said it is focused on restoring security and clamping down on Islamic State, which has claimed many major attacks in Afghan cities, has also consulted with Chinese telecoms equipment maker Huawei about potential cooperation. The spokesman said, preventing attacks by international militant groups, including prominent organizations such as Islamic State, is at the heart of the interaction between the Taliban and many foreign nations, including the US and China, according to readouts from those meetings. But some analysts question the cash-strapped regime's ability to fund the program, and right groups have expressed concern that any resources will be used to crack down on protesters. Details of how the Taliban intend to expand and manage mass surveillance, including obtaining the US plan, have not been previously reported. The mass camera rollout, which will involve a focus on important point in Kabul and elsewhere, is part of a new security strategy that will take 4 years to be fully implemented, Ministry of Interior spokesman Abdul Matin Kani told pressmen. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan will meet Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev on Monday as ethnic Armenians fled the breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh after a lightning military operation that has changed the contours of the South Caucasus. The Armenians of Karabakh, a territory internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan, were forced into a ceasefire last week after a 24-hour military operation by the much larger Azerbaijani military. The leadership of the 120,000 Armenians who call Karabakh home told newsmen on Sunday that they did not want to live as part of Azerbaijan and that they would leave for Armenia because they feared persecution and ethnic cleansing. As of 5 a.m. on Monday, more than 2,900 people from Nagorno-Karabakh had crossed into Armenia, the government of Armenia said, as it rushed to prepare for thousands of refugees. Erdogan will pay a one-day visit to Azerbaijan's autonomous Nakhchivan exclave, a strip of Azeri territory nestled among Armenia, Iran and Turkey, to discuss with Aliyev the situation in the Karabakh region. The Turkish President's office said they will attend a ceremony for a gas pipeline that will bring gas to Nakhchivan and inaugurate a newly modernized military installation in the exclave, the Turkish presidency said. The Philippines will take, quote, all appropriate actions to cause the removal of barriers in a disputed area of the South China Sea, the country's national security advisor said on Monday. The Philippines on Sunday shared images of a floating barrier blocking fishing vessel access in the Scarborough Shoal with Chinese Coast Guard ships nearby and said it would protect the rights of its fishermen. The country's foreign ministry on Monday said that the barriers were a violation of international law and that the Philippines would, quote, take all appropriate measures to protect our country's sovereignty and the livelihood of our fisherfolk. The Chinese embassy in Manila did not respond to requests for comment. China claims 90% of the South China Sea, overlapping with the exclusive economic zones of Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Beijing seized the Scarborough Shoal in 2012 and forced fishermen from the Philippines to travel further for smaller catches. Philippine Coast Guard and Fisheries Bureau personnel discovered the floating barrier, estimated at 300 meters long, on a routine patrol on Friday near the shore, locally known as Bajo de Masinloc, according to Commodore J. Tarela, a Coast Guard spokesperson. A bitter row between India and Canada over the murder of a Sikh separatist is being felt in Punjab, where some Sikhs fear both a backlash from India's Hindu nationalist government and a threat to their prospects for a better life in North America. Ardip Singh Nijjar, a plumber who left the North Indian state a quarter-century ago and became a Canadian citizen, was shot dead in June outside a temple in the Vancouver suburb, where he was a separatist leader among the many Sikhs living there. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said last week Ottawa had, quote, credible allegations that Indian government agents may be linked to the killing. India, which labeled Nijjar a terrorist in 2020, angrily rejected the allegation as absurd, expelled the chief of Canadian intelligence in India, issued travel warnings, stopped visa issuance to Canadians, and downsized Canada's diplomatic presence in India. Sikhs make up just 2% of India's 1.4 billion people. but they are a majority in Punjab, a state of 30 million, where their religion was born 500 years ago. Outside of Punjab, the greatest number of Sikhs live in Canada, the site of many protests that have irked India. With 2 months left until the UN's COP28 summit, countries are far from bridging the gap between those demanding a deal to phase out plant-warming fossil fuels and nations insisting on preserving a role for coal, oil and natural gas. The COP28 conference in Dubai, scheduled between November 30th and December 12th, is seen as a crucial opportunity for government to accelerate action to limit global warming. Yet countries remain split over the future of fossil fuels, the burning of which is the main cause of climate change. Meetings at the United Nations General Assembly (UNGA) last week reignited the long-rumbling debate, with climate-vulnerable nations like the Marshall Islands pleading for wealthier ones to quit polluting fuels and to invest in renewable alternatives. Quote, "Humanity has opened the gates to hell by eating the planet," UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres told the one-day climate summit held alongside the General Assembly, where he lamented the naked greed of fossil fuel interests. Other countries that produce or rely on fossil fuels emphasized the potential use of technologies to abate, meaning capture, their emissions rather than ending the use of such fuels completely. That is the size of top accurate global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy New Week!